Hi, all. I hope you're doing well as you are juggling so much. And in this new kind of normal, whatever this is, it just day by day by day. For some of us, it feels like it's going by quickly every day, and there's so much to accomplish. And I know for some people, it feels like it's just dragging. So, whatever place you're in, bless you. Just keep plugging along. Take each hour by hour by hour and just do the very best that you're able to do. You guys are doing great in this class. I just want to offer some affirmation, and this is not like my week 7 speech that I give to everybody. I want to say that the discussion forums, I don't think I've ever had students consistently, all of you, participating this fully, and it's wonderful. And maybe that's a byproduct of COVID-19 that you're home, a lot of you, and it does feel refreshing to see other people on video. I don't know what the reason is, or maybe you're just all stellar students. I prefer that conclusion, but thank you for good conversation, for being there, for answering the prompts, and for being on time with them as well. You are in week 7, and guess what? Response paper 7 is your last paper, so give it everything that you can. We're going to do a final project instead of a response paper 8, and that final project, I will put the prompt up here in the next couple days as I get a chance. I'm going to ask you to come up with a claim and do a video that'll be a little bit more formal than our discussion forums have been, not in terms of dress, or it's not a speech class, not that, but I'm going to ask you, instead of just kind of chatting like I am right now, and as I've asked you to do for the discussion forums, I'm going to ask you to do a little bit more like a paper where you come up with a very clear argument that you're making and some evidence and resources to back it up. So the instructions will be clear, but just know that your 8th project will be a project. It'll be a video that you're posting and not another paper. A little word of another word of affirmation, but also encouragement to you about your papers. If you're getting a lot of marks on the grammar, please know that I am in no way doing that to aggravate you. I would not want to spend the time doing that, frankly, correcting things. I am marking items that actually are an error in mechanics. And you need to know these rules. There aren't that many comma rules. If you look in the simple math of writing well, they're listed out very clearly for you. And if you have questions about them, here I am. Until you graduate, here I am. I now know who you are, and you can send me grammar questions anytime you like. I have a former student from about 2012 who still on occasion will send me a grammar question in the wee hours of the night. I don't always answer right then, but happy to answer them, happy to help you so that you know the rules. So moving forward, you're confident with your own writing, and that's not an issue. You all have such good ideas that it's really distracting when commas are in the wrong place, so then it takes your reader in this direction, but really I can tell that you're intending this direction. So take the time to go through, make sure you're downloading it first so you can actually see all my comments, and take the time to read through them. And if you don't understand one, please don't just get upset with me, but send me an email and ask me about it. I'm happy to help. We can do this. We can do a Zoom video conference. If it helps to see a face, then I can talk you through it. Just let me know, okay? Don't forget revisions in this class. Look on the syllabus. There's a paragraph that talks about revisions, and you need to follow the instructions there, because if you don't, I won't be able to accept it. So I'm looking for not just you going in and accepting the track changes and accepting all of my edits and then returning it in. And I'll be able to tell because I have access to original copies of your papers. So I'm looking for some kind of content change, and it says that on the syllabus in the paragraph. Some evidence that you put some thought into it and done a revision of your work. And if you do, you can earn 1 full grade higher, which can help. And with all of your discussion forum points, can help immensely. So keep in mind, we have 1,000 points total in this class. We still have some points coming. So if you're concerned about your grade, look at what total points you have at this point, and keep in mind that there are 1,000 total by the end of the course. And if you do a revision and earn a whole grade higher, that can help. I don't think there are too many of you, but if there are any of you who missed a paper for some reason, I will accept a paper at any point. You can only earn half credit. So you could get 50% or 50 points if you do well on the paper, and that can help so much with your point total. So make sure you get everything turned in. You don't want to have a 0. because that will certainly hurt your grade. I want to call your attention quickly to a passage in Turkle that I thought was so timely considering our TED Talk for this week and kind of where we're headed in terms of um, thinking about the internet and thinking about COVID-19 and the effect that it has had on us, that it's having on our culture, and what it might be to step into a new world as we're allowed to go see one another again. If you have the book, I'm on page 275. It's a subtitled Walden 2.0, and of course, this is in chapter 14. And it says, in his essay about his 2 years of retreat, Thoreau writes, I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I did not wish to live what was not life. Living is so dear. Nor did I wish to practice resignation, unless it was quite necessary. Thoreau's quest this is Turkle talking now. Thoreau's quest inspires us to ask of our life with technology, do we live deliberately? Do we turn away from life that is not life? And do we refuse resignation? Do you understand what that means? So if you're resigned to something, and some of us were with our previous lives, pre-coronavirus, resigned to the fact that your calendar is super full and you're always running and taking kids or whatever it is that you're doing, going to work meetings. And that's just what it is, because that's the stage that your life is in. And so you're resigned to it rather than intentional. So Thoreau is saying, and Turkle is echoing, are we refusing resignation? To say, no, I'm not just going to be resigned to it. I'm going to walk this difficult walk because that's what I'm called to, and my character will be deeper because of it. Or I'm choosing this because. And my prayer for all of us, myself included, is that we can step into what Thoreau is saying here and what Turkle is saying here very fully, not just this week, but in the weeks and months to come. I hope you saw the activity for this week. Don't take it lightly. I'm asking you to spend 15 minutes and do nothing. That's more challenging than you think. I've had a couple students over the years who absolutely could not do it because you start and 2 minutes go by, and that's all right. 15 is a pretty long time. And I'm asking you to not read. You can think, you have to think, that's okay, but not praying and not meditating, because those are conscious acts that you're doing, but just letting yourself be. Watch the birds, watch something out your window or sitting outside if it's nice, and then report back to the rest of us what came of it. So I think this chapter and the TED Talk all coincide, and in my mind, this is a Holy Spirit thing so nicely with what's happening with the coronavirus and our longing to hold on to some pieces of this as we emerge, some intentionality about quiet time, about time with family, about an awareness about the internet and social media that is above and beyond what perhaps we had a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. If you have questions, I am here. Don't be shy. If something's frustrating you or you're not quite sure and you think you might sound stupid, just send me an email. I'm here to help. Blessings on your week.